Hey, my name is Jobby, and we're taking a look at the SH Monsterarts Godzilla KKK version. Unfortunate acronyms aside, Kou Kyou Kyoku is Japanese for light, sound, and music. And you might be wondering, why light, sound, and music? Well, we'll save that for later. The painting and the sculpting on this figure is awesome. SH Monsterarts hits another home run with their detail work. My god, it's amazing. This version of Godzilla is a little chunkier than normal, but that just makes him more intimidating and somewhat cuddly. Not to mention these thighs. Get that anime shit out of here. This is the only thigh bulge I care about. And I'm sure this is screen accurate, but I do find the tail length a little bit ridiculous. Maybe it's because this Godzilla's a little chunkier. The slender and long tail just seems a little disproportionate. Not much to say about the head. I mean, it's classic Godzilla, and it looks fantastic. Now, the sculpting on this figure might be amazing, but the painting on the head and the toes, no complaints, fantastic. And even the claws on first glance look really good, until you flip the hand over. You incompetent fools! Couldn't you be fucked to paint the nails all the way? Jesus Christ. And don't get me started on the spines. It's not the worst painting on the figure, but the fact that the paint starts off really bad, gets really good in the middle, and then goes to bad again? Like, what the fuck? It's frustrating. It's like they had fucking Dali do the middle of the back, but then had a crippled child do the rest. But my issues with the paint kind of disappear when I look at him from a distance. And it's not like I'm gonna be examining him on a daily basis. So before it starts to sound like I hate the figure, let's talk about the Kou Kyou Kyoku. But before we do that, you gotta turn him on. Tear him in half, unscrew that, and this thing's gonna require some LR44 batteries, which do not come with the figure, fuck. But once you got the batteries in, you could just flip this switch. Oh yes. And when you're reattaching the waist, make sure that this useless hinge joint is pointed straight down, so that it aligns with this hole. And you wanna get these thigh pieces out the way. Now with all that set up, you open his mouth for dramatic effect, and push this cleverly hidden button. I fucking love it. So you get 3 different types of roars. There's a short roar, a little longer roar, and one that goes on for a little too long. But after every 3 roars, and this is when I take off my pants, now, I've seen other reviews where they complain about the brightness of the light, but I actually think it's pretty bright. Yeah, definitely false advertising, but I think it still looks pretty damn good. I actually have a different issue with the light up feature. So like I said, after every 3 roars, it lights up, but it lights up in this weird blinking pattern, and then only the mouth lights up. That's so stupid! I haven't watched many Godzilla films, but I know for a fucking fact that whenever he shoots his atomic breath, his spines light up at the same time. But if I push the button 8 more times, I get exactly what I needed. If only every instance of the feature lit up both the spines and the mouth at the same time, that would have been perfect. So we covered Kou and Kyu. What about this is pure joy, I'm in heaven. The song goes on for actually quite a while. I think it might be the whole thing. You can cancel the song at any time by push and holding the button again, but if you push and hold the button again, you get another song. And while any of the songs are playing, you could continue to push the button to get more sound effects. But while the stomps are going on, you could cancel the song to just get the isolated stomping noise. Out of the light, sound, and music, the has to be the best. And as cool as these features are, I wish that the speaker on this figure was a little bit louder. Sure, he can roar, but it's no Mecha Godzilla. As for accessories, there are none. But you could always use another SH Monsterarts effect part if you have it. I guess Bandai thought the KKK feature was enough. And to that I say, fuck you. You thought I was gonna say put in my ass, didn't you? Now let's get to the arguably weakest part of the figure. Fuck no, I'm not gonna swivel this. There's wires in there. Ball joint at the head, mouth opens, doesn't look up very far, but it can look down alright. Limited ball joint at the shoulder, rotation, bicep swivel, ball joint here, which allows for a bend at the elbow, and ball joint here. But you know what I say about ball joints, they're just the more unlimited absolutely no posability at the waist, don't even try. But you do get that useless joint, like, why? Ball joint at the hips, which of course can pretty good rotation, decent spread, bend at the knee, and a ball joint at the ankle. And of course his long-ass tail is extremely poseable. Each segment of the tail has its own ball joint until you get to the end where they kinda gave up. So compared to other SH Monster Arts, the posability on this guy is very limited, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I appreciate how these other Godzilla figures are extremely poseable, but I really only get them into a few select poses. So KKK Godzilla's lack of swivels, not a big problem for me. And speaking of big, this figure's pretty long, but he's also pretty big. Here's SH Monster Arts Godzilla, SH Monster Arts Godzilla, Primatica, and of course, the SH Monster Arts Godzilla. So despite the issues I have with the figure, I still love it. All the flaws with the paint, the posability, the imperfect lights and sound features, I could give it all a pass. I mean, it's not like this figure cost that much. I love you, baby. Please do not get me wrong. I need you, baby. But man, that price is wrong. I love you, baby. But I would not want to pay. I guess you really are too good to be true. I love you, baby. Please do not get me wrong. I need you, baby. But man, that price is wrong. I love you, baby.